With Build 42 set to release in the very near future, I think it's fair to say that many Project Zomboid players are biding their time and finding new ways to entertain themselves until the fabled major update finally comes along. One of the best ways to do that, as you might remember from my last video, is to try out some new mods. This time, we're taking a look at some map mods of recent months and putting together some of the best ones for you to try in your next playthroughs. If you enjoyed this video or find yourself watching my content often, subscribe to the channel and join the elite group that makes up just 18% of my viewers and become part of the community. Alright, let's get started with those maps. Now, I wanted to kick this one off with a map that really does stand as one of the best new maps on the workshop in my opinion, although I might be biased about that because it's a map I commissioned myself with the help of our Patreon. This is Lost to Nature, and whilst I did a separate video on this not too long ago, I did want to make sure I include it in this video too because I really do think it offers something unique. This map puts you in a world reclaimed by Mother Nature after decades of the apocalypse have passed. As such, any old world buildings you find on the map will be in major states of disrepair, and the map modder Simon MD even went to the effort of remaking some of the vanilla tiles for the game to ensure they looked suitably overgrown for the setting. Loot will be extremely limited, and as such, it's almost essential you run a good wilderness survival mod pack with this map. As luck would have it though, we made one of these for ourselves when running this on our whitelisted Patreon server, and I'll make sure to leave a link in the description to that mod pack for you folks at home. Your survival abilities and knowledge of crafting will be tested in this one, with the zombies no longer being your biggest threat. Starvation, dehydration, and protection from the elements are your absolute priority. Explore abandoned mines, dilapidated and partially flooded towns, and even settlements from survivors that have come before you. This one is a true standout experience, offering not just a new map, but an entirely new way to play. Okay, so our first map for today's video was a totally different style of play, but what if you're looking for some modded maps that fit into the vanilla map of Kentucky? Well, sticking with the same creator of our last map, Simon MD has recently released Louisville Shipping Port. This map fits nicely just outside of Louisville along the riverbank, close to the military checkpoint and refugee camp. This isn't the first time that Simon has brought some critical infrastructure to Louisville either, as this map resides just across the road from his Louisville airport map. As you'd expect, this map contains a huge amount of industrial loot areas, complete with factories, small businesses, and plenty of containers to search through in what is ultimately a post-apocalyptic lucky dip. You never know what each container is going to be transporting, and on top of that, there's two ships actually docked at the port, one of which is a military frigate and the other being a cargo freighter. If you're looking for a challenging way to spice up the Louisville area, this is a fantastic option for just that. Okay, let's take a trip now to the other side of the map entirely, along the far western border for a modded map that offers a little bit of everything. This is Pineville, a map that started off as a village and has since been developed further into a town, with the ultimate goal of the modder being to expand it even further in the future to a cityscape. Now, I really like this idea because if this pans out for them, you can essentially watch the town develop and grow just like a real one would. The map is designed to fit perfectly into the vanilla style of the game, and I have to say the modder has done a really solid job of keeping that original look to the whole place. There's plenty of diversity with this one too, including everything from grocery stores and cafes to gun stores and mechanic workshops. Now, just because we're keeping things traditional doesn't mean there aren't any interesting things to come across. The modder has even included some paintings in the decor of the map that they themselves actually painted in real life, which is a really sweet personal touch. They also make a note on their workshop page that certain secrets are hidden in the map for players to find, though I don't want to give those away before you've had a chance to check things out for yourself. Pineville makes a great addition to any map list looking to keep things vanilla whilst giving plenty of opportunity to find new discoveries. Now, I'm a big fan of maps that try to encompass that atmosphere of the zombie outbreak being years in the past. You know, where everything is overgrown, buildings are tumbling down, and you just get that feeling that society has long since fallen. And really, what piece of zombie media did that better than The Last of Us? With the map mod Haven Ridge, you can take a trip to a place designed to fit right into that very setting. It's not a huge map, but if you're looking for a way to experience that perfect 10 years later experience, this is is a great way to do just that. In fact, the modder recommends running this map with the 10 years later mod, and with the power, of course, already off. Essentially, consider this your way to play in a setting where significant periods of time have already passed. Whilst covering a relatively small area, the map comes with several high-rises, apartment blocks, and cramped buildings to emulate a cityscape environment, and as such you'll need to expect a pretty high number of zombies, especially in the buildings with multiple floors. Still, if you're up for the challenge, it makes for a decent map for this sort of playthrough. Just keep in mind you'll need a whole bunch of extra tile packs for this one, listed in the required mods on account of the unique design choices used for this one. Okay, so that last one was a map covering a smaller area. For the next one, we're going back to something a bit more expansive. This is Taylorsville, which resides along the riverbank just west of West Point, covering roughly the same area of ground as West Point does too. This is another map that fits perfectly into vanilla playthroughs, using no custom tile packs and keeping things relatively traditional in its style. Now, there's a couple of odd tile combinations when it comes to roofs in this one that sometimes makes it look a bit odd or out of place, but it's certainly not enough to devalue the map as a whole. There's plenty of good safe house opportunities on this one too, with some more rural locations on the outskirts of the town offering relative safety and room to expand. My personal favourite is what I assume is some sort of radio antenna or weather station with a small fenced off area and a couple of buildings that can be transformed into a safe house if you're willing to put a bit of work in as part of a construction project. So all in all, another map for this list that fits nicely into most vanilla playthroughs and offers some good places to stay too. So we're coming to the end of this video, but the last map in this one is very much a wild card pick, and it actually came out just a few days before I was writing the script for this one, and I'm really glad because it's safe to say this one does something entirely different to most map mods I've seen. This is Survivor Cargo Ship Romero, which was, according to the modder, originally created for a roleplay server, but they decided to release it on the workshop so that everyone can give it a try. Now, the ship is located at the northwest corner of Louisville, just outside the industrial area docked along the river. However, this isn't just any cargo ship, it's been entirely transformed by survivors into what is essentially a floating city. Now, obviously we have to look past the fact that even a cargo freighter of this size probably wouldn't be able to hold up this much weight, but if you can manage that, it's an awesome experience to walk around this map alone. The ship is divided into sectors, so you'll find a cramped and overpopulated residential area that looks like it would be a bit of a nightmare to actually live in, but also things like a courthouse, a hospital, a school, and some storefronts to explore. There's even a huge prison at the top of the ship and a garden area where I'd assume they grow most of the food needed to supply the residents. Now, like I said earlier, this map is entirely different, and as such it uses a whole lot of tile packs, so you'll need to be aware there's some additions to your mod collection coming if you want to run this one. Still, it's not often that someone produces a map that the community hasn't seen before and manages to pull it off, so kudos to this modder again, and it's well worth your time to check this one out. Alrighty everyone, so that's it from me in this one. Hope you found a map or two to try in your next playthroughs, and if you're looking for the links to download them, there's a collection in the description of this video so you can grab those for yourself. Just keep in mind you'll still need the dependencies listed on each individual map's workshop page too. I want to say a very special thank you to all of my Patreon supporters as always. You folks are a huge help to the channel and allow me to keep doing what I do. If you're interested in joining them, there's a link in the description where you can pay just £3 a month to get access to our whitelisted Project Zomboid server, where we use our Patreon funds to commission our own maps, our own mods, and create unique themes and events every single month. Thanks folks, and I'll see you all in the next one.